We often get questions about how Impulse compares to the competition, so I thought I'd take some time to explain the differences. I'm Dr. Chris Koloka, the inventor of the Impulse adjusting instrument. I'll start by talking about other electromechanical instruments in comparison and then move on to differences between the spring-loaded devices and the Impulse adjusting instrument. First, know that Impulse is born out of research. So our waveform has been studied and has been found to optimize spinal motion. We published this while others haven't. We've also found that when considering all patients, men versus women, lumbars versus thoracics and cervicals, normal versus degenerated, young versus old, the average pulse rate that optimizes spinal motion is around 6 hertz, which is why we program the device to thrust at this frequency. So, of course, Impulse IQ can actually target for the particular frequency for a specific patient in a specific area, but that's another story. Now, the competition has set their pulse rate to 12 hertz based on the somatomotor rhythm of the body. I don't buy it. Our research has found that 12 hertz is too fast in most instances, so each thrust may actually cancel out the previous one. Thrusting at the right frequency is a very important consideration that optimizes spinal motion during an adjustment. Impulse was designed to be very lightweight, so it's easy to use all day long. Other instruments are much larger and heavy, which can wear you out. You can use Impulse as much as you'd like without the instrument heating up. Other instruments have had to install a bulky fan on top of the device to keep it cool and functioning because it gets too hot. The force of the Impulse is quickly and easily selected by means of a 3-position switch. Impulse has low, medium, and high force settings that you can change very easily and quickly. Other instruments change their force setting by how hard the doctor preloads it into the patient. Well, our research has found that if you push too hard, then the patient's muscles will become activated and will tighten up and resist the adjustment. Impulse, in contrast, has a 20 Newton spring in its nose piece that's built right in. So by means of a LED, you're informed of exactly how much preload to give prior to adjusting. In summary, with defined force settings, you can be consistent with your adjustments from patient to patient and from visit to visit, as opposed to not knowing how much pressure to apply, as this might be the case with other instruments. Cost is also a factor. Impulse costs less than most other electromechanical adjusting instruments that cost over $1,000. Sure, others might say that they offer a longer warranty, but we also, in addition to our full 1-year unconditional warranty, have a repair program in place. So if you have a problem with your Impulse instrument after it's outside of warranty, and all you have to do is send it in for a look. We'll find out what's wrong, and we'll give you an estimate for the cost of the repair. It will be anywhere between $99 and $299 if the instrument's less than 3 years old. We'll even send you a loaner instrument so you're not out of commission in the meantime. We even have a customer loyalty program which allows you to upgrade within our family of instruments. So when you make a purchase with us and the technology improves, you get 100% of your money toward the upgrade. In the long run, we'll be here for you, continuing to do research to develop better techniques for you to care for patients. So, you see, when you consider all these things, you can't go wrong with Impulse. When you consider the differences between spring-loaded adjusting instruments and Impulse, there's really no comparison. First, the waveform that the instrument produces with each single thrust is a half sine wave with Impulse. That is exactly what my co-inventor, Dr. Tony Keller, was trying to achieve when he invented the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th generations of the spring-loaded activation devices. We tested their latest version and published its waveform. It's a noisy waveform that isn't much better than the previous ones that are much less expensive. Second, with Impulse, you can stop beating up your hands and wrists by having to squeeze the spring-loaded devices. Impulse has an electric trigger mechanism that's easy to pull and easier on your hands, prolonging your practice career. I can't tell you how many doctors have told me that they wouldn't be able to practice if it wasn't for Impulse, and how many others who can't believe that they used to spend their day squeezing spring-loaded devices all day. Once you make the switch to Impulse, you'll never go back. Impulse also offers you a greater range of force selections for different areas of the spine and different patients. So despite the claims made by spring-loaded instrument companies, moving from one setting to another does not appreciably change the force. We've also published this in a recent study that you can find in our research section. Doctors sometimes ask if there's any way to get rid of the cord of the instrument, and the answer is, unfortunately, for now, no. We do hold the patent on a battery-powered adjusting instrument that we've developed and even have a prototype for use someday. But the problem is the amount of voltage that's required to perform the adjustments throughout the day would require a heavy battery. So like a cordless drill, the instrument would be heavy and bulky. So even with a battery charger in the room, the battery still wears down, and when the battery loses its power, so does the thrust. So it changes the characteristics of the thrust, not only the peak force, but the frequency characteristics that we've worked so hard to impart into the device. So we hope that battery technology improves to the point someday where we can go cordless, but for now it's not feasible. Last is cost. Impulse is almost the same price as a spring-loaded type device. With Impulse, you get the ability to do single and multiple thrusts. It has a preload indicator light to tell you how hard to push prior to adjusting. You get single and dual styluses for unilateral and bilateral adjusting. You get an introductory DVD to tell you about the instrument's benefits and features, and a custom molded carrying case. Impulse is made right in our own manufacturing facility, right here in the USA. Ask the others where their devices are made. Okay, now I'm getting cynical. Make the switch to Impulse. You'll be glad you did. You have my word on it.